like as if he was a dog. And I do not understand how that jury can come back and say that he was not guilty. He was in a runner's stance. It was shown by the pathologist, and they said he was not guilty. It was devastating for me to get a call from Alvin S. Glenn letting me know that Rick Chow was released. That broke me more than you can ever imagine, because my murderer of my son was set free. And it's not fair, and it's unjust. And nobody can tell me that this is not racially motivated, because I'm not supposed to be on social media anyway. But when I go and I look at my social media, I have racist people coming to my page, going under my son's pictures, leaving the most horrific things, saying that they're glad he's dead, good riddance, and I am tired.
We know she's right about that. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing. That's been going on in this country for a very long time. She ain't lied. That's the mother of Cyrus Bennett. Press conference after the verdict was read, and I think that was today. Actually, I'm not sure because they did not wear that in the courtroom. I saw the attire in the courtroom.
I got a good mind to think that Rick Chow didn't even shoot him. I believe the son did, because looking at the video.
This brother has a theory, and I was listening to him, and I think it's very interesting. Everybody, cut your volume up a little bit, y'all. I want y'all to hear this one. This young man is on TikTok, and he has a theory about the case that I had not considered, and I will admit I had not considered it, and I'm glad he brought it up. Check this out.
Page, going under my son's pictures, leaving the most horrific things, saying that they're glad he's dead, good riddance, and I am tired.
I got a good mind to think that Rick Chow didn't even shoot him. I believe the son did, because looking at the video, that boy had a 20-yard head start on them, and Rick Chow like 60 years old. Now, he ran over 130-something yards away. So you trying to tell me with a 20-yard head start, that 14-year-old was walked down by a 60-year-old man? I believe the son had the gun. The son got to him first and shot him. And then when the daddy saw what went down, he said, I'm going to take the charge. That's why everything played out the way it is. And when you think about it like that, and then you go back and listen to his testimony and see how stupid he was playing, he sounded like somebody who it's like the whole scenario didn't go down the way they said it went down. You see what I'm saying? Because if I unalive you, you're not there to speak for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Whatever went down is what I say went down. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I've been thinking about. How did a 61-year-old man, or however old he is, how did he walk down a 14-year-old who had a 20-yard head start on them? I believe the son did it.
I'm sorry, guys. He's 58, if I'm not mistaken. 58. So I listened to the commentary, man. We listened to the young man's theory, which I found very interesting. It's something to think about. And then I said, okay. Tobias, I thought, okay. Yeah, hadn't I considered that's a lot of running. The football field is a lot to run. Who's ever been out on a full regulation size football field? And the young man was not walking, he was running. 2 adults were chasing him. He was running like he had somewhere to go. And he had a start, as you can see from the film. How'd they catch up with him? How did the older man catch up with him? Now, I worked at the Redskins Stadium back in, doesn't really matter when, does it? Don't matter when. I worked at the Redskins Stadium, and I can tell you, going down on the field, it was during the off season. I worked during the off season when no one's in the stadium and I'm there. We're doing some work on the IT, on the equipment, and they have a number of systems there. And I got to see a football field with nobody on it. And I got to look from one end zone to the other end zone. And I'm going to tell you, I'm just telling you, this young man is not, he's on to something. He's on to something, because if you had to run that and you were under pressure to run it, yeah. I still can't figure out what was the impetus. Running that distance is a lot of work for anybody, right? I don't care who you are, but pretty much when you're almost 60 and you're chasing somebody over a bottle of water, not over your cash register, not over stealing your car, not over grabbing your wife's purse. You're chasing him over a bottle of water, and people say he's not racist. Family, have you ever chased somebody over a bottle of water? And first of all, he's wrong. The water's still in the store. But he thinks he took a bottle of water. A bottle of water, son. They chased a young man for a football field over one bottle of water that they thought he had that he didn't even have. So if you've been out on the football field, you know that's a long run. And I gotta say, I'm 50-50. I was 50-50 at that point. I'm 50-50 in the door with this young man with the theory. I have nothing to go on this, right? I'm just saying this is what, for my own personal experience, I know it ain't easy to run that. I seen a football field up close. And remember, we're talking 130 yards. So that's end zone, past the end zone, past the goal post. Not just the goal line, but the goal post is another 10 yards on both sides. So we talking 120 yards plus a little further than that, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what we're talking about. Then the young man in the video, he said something else. He said he noticed something during the trial. He noticed something about the son, Andy. I think his name is Andy. The way Andy was answering questions didn't seem all that convincing. Then I found Andy's clips. At least I found an Andy clip. Let's watch that together.
When y'all left the Shell station, was he trying to get away from you two?
I'm not sure why he ran.
Did he ever stop and ask to shake your hand?
No, sir.
Did he ever run towards you?
No, sir.
Okay. He was running away from you, right, Andy?
Remember, guys, the only reason why his dad did not get guilty, the main reason is the testimony of this very convincing witness who says that Cyrus, after running 130 yards, turned at him with the gun in his hand. And still, there was time for Dad to catch up and to shoot him, though he was shot in the back as he was running away. Remember, that's the testimony. The testimony, he's the one that witnessed it. Nobody else was there. There's no cameras, okay? And according to him, this great witness who won't even admit that Cyrus was running away from him, which we all know, we saw it on the film. He won't even admit Cyrus was running away. This guy is their crack witness, and the jury believed him. They took his word when he said Cyrus stopped after 130 yards, showed a gun, pointed it towards him, and the dad was right there, and the dad had to defend him. Cyrus didn't shoot the gun. Somehow Dad is expert marksman. But let's keep going. Let's check it out, because this is
I'm not sure why he ran.
Did he ever stop and ask to shake your hand?
No, sir.
Did he ever run towards you?
No, sir.
Okay. He was running away from you, right, Andy?
I can't speak for him.
Was he running toward you?
No, sir.
Was he running away from you? It's not a hard question.
I guess not to me, yes, sir.
He was trying to get away from where you were, correct?
Could be.
It could be. You and your dad are yelling at him and running after him.
I did not. Outside of the store, I did not yell at him.
You yelled at him in the store.
Well, I called out to him, hey.
And your dad yelled to him when he got out of the store.
And my dad called out hey to him, yes.
And he ran away from you.
Okay, yes, sir.
I'm asking you. This is your chance to answer my questions. And they're not hard, are they?
No,
he
sir.
ran away.
Family, this is a testimony that these people, I've got people online, I've got people that, in independent media who are conservative, who are telling me this guy, they believe his story. I mean, fam, this whole game is rigged. This shit is rigged. It's rigged. I wouldn't believe this guy to tell me the time of day. I wouldn't believe this guy to put me in the direction of a clock. Real talk. He's lying. He can't even be honest about what we all know, which is this kid ran. That's not being disputed. He won't even admit that shit. But for some reason, he's Scott's honored on the rest of his story. I mean, I'm already questioning everything about the guy. But not the jury. Jury said they believed him. But it's not racism. Why would you believe this guy? What about him that makes him believable? It damn sure in his testimony. This guy won't even admit the kid was running. I mean, even if you say he was a bad kid or he did the bad thing, you can't admit he was running? You can't say that shit? I mean, let's keep going, man. It's not much more. But now I'm looking at this jury. I'm looking at the judge. I mean, come on, Johnson.
Away from you and your father, did he not?
He did. Hey.
You and your dad are yelling at him and running after him.
I did not. Outside of the store, I did not yell at him.
You yelled at him in the store.
Well, I called out to him, hey.
And your dad yelled to him when he got out of the store.
And my dad called out hey to him, yes.
And he ran away from you.
Okay, yes, sir.
I'm asking you. This is your chance to answer my questions. And they're not hard, are they? He ran away from you and your father, did he not?
He did run away from me.
Okay. Thank you.
Damn.
Okay.
At any point did he turn and engage with you? You understand that word?
He did not.
Okay. At any point did he stop and turn towards your dad and pull out a gun in the store?
Towards my dad, no, sir.
Did he do that to you in the store?
No, sir.
Did he do that when y'all chased him into Springtree? Did he turn around before y'all left the parking lot and point a gun at you?
No, sir.
But you continued to chase him though, didn't you? And you actually called up to him, you called up to him twice, is what you said in your statement, roadside, right?
Yes, sir.
What does that mean? What was the first time you called up with him?
I'm not completely sure.
Okay. So you catch up with him, and then he keeps going, and then he falls, and then you catch up with him again, and that's when the gun thing happens, right?
Yes, sir. He pointed the gun at me.
Okay. And you said he fell, he took 1 to 2 steps after he got shot and fell down?
Yes, sir. Or, yeah, he kind of ducks to the ground and stays on the ground.
Okay. But you testified he took 1 to 2 steps after he was shot and fell to the ground?
Yes, sir.
Next.
They chased that boy. They chased that boy and they shot him in the back. And that's not enough to get a conviction. That's not enough to get a conviction. Chasing a young man, 2 grown-ass men chasing a child who ain't even old enough to drive a car. They chase him and they shoot him in the back. He's so dangerous, he's running from you. And he has a gun. People keep saying, why do you have a gun? Why do you have a gun? I don't know. To defend himself? Looks like he really needed it, didn't he? That's what it looks like to me. Looks like he really needed a gun. Looks like, and now we know, good old Rick, he likes using guns. Rick has shot at least 3 people. This was number 4. Why don't you ask, why does he need a gun? No one's ever shot him. Why does he need a gun? Why does the store owner need a gun? He's never been shot by a customer, but he keeps shooting customers. But you don't question that. You say for safety. Yeah, I know that 14 is young, too young to have a gun, I think. He shouldn't have had a gun. It's a lot of things it shouldn't be. You shouldn't be a scumbag, conservative, a kiss ass for all things white supremacists. You shouldn't do that, but you do that.
So as a person who owns a firearm, y'all know what I done learned from all these different cases, Rick Chow and everybody else, right? Is that simply if a black person, okay, has a firearm and somebody kills you, you simply having a firearm is going to justify to a jury you being killed. So you know what I learned? Y'all know what the fuck I learned? I ain't got time to be sitting up here talking to a motherfucker about shit. If me having a firearm, and I know that I have my firearm all the time, is going to justify you killing me, I'm going to go ahead and blow you out your fucking socks and then just go ahead and fight for my life at trial. Yeah, I'm not going to sit up there and try to reason with you. I'm not going to sit up there and try to talk to you. I'm not going to sit up there and try to play with you. Okay? If I try to get away from you and you keep coming fucking towards me and I know I got my strap on me, bitch, I'ma fucking use that shit. I'ma blow you out your motherfucking socks and you are going to see Jesus effective immediately. Immediately. Because y'all not going to sit up here and say that me having a firearm is justifiable homicide because I'm black with a fucking firearm legally. No, hell no, baby. Y'all going to the upper room, sending you hoes to glory immediately. Because yes, in the case with Cyrus, yes, he was 14. He wasn't supposed to have a firearm, right? But this Cyrus ain't the only black person this shit done happened to. Right. Cyrus ain't the only black person this shit done fucking happened to, right? And Cyrus could have been chose. He could have been chose to bust their goddamn cerebellum, but he didn't. He was running away from them, trying to get away from them. And can't nobody, if somebody point at you, you would shoot them in the chest, not in the back. So what he do? Point it, then turn around? Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? So at this particular juncture, if there was anything for us to learn from any of this shit, is that if you are black and you have a firearm and the situation seems sketch and you trying to get away from that person and they keep moving towards you, baby, light their ass up. Because what they gonna do is kill you and say that it was justifiable to kill you simply because you had a firearm. Mm-hmm. At this point, it's not enough to simply have one. We got to start using them bitches appropriately. Have a good day.
Man, I got to give it up for this sister, man, because I got to give it up for her. I do. I think we'd say she's right. Can we unanimously on that? Because at the end of the day, fam, this is like the 3rd case I've covered. Well, just because the brother had a gun. Well, you know, even when we're unarmed, we can't get a break. So we can still be killed and they can still say, well, you said words. Because I always bring back the story of Jordan Neely. Jordan Neely, he was a homeless guy who talked some shit on a train. They killed him in front of everybody. Slowly. And they said he was dangerous because he said things. So you can't even win with that shit. So, but I agree, if you got a gun, that adds fire to it. But if they'll still say, they'll still say that you are dangerous because you are black. They won't say it. They'll just rule that you were dangerous. And the jury will look at you and see that you were black, and they'll say, well, that person was black, so that person had to go. Yeah, I like her logic, man. Yeah, if you're in a situation where you got to run from a motherfucker, maybe it's best you don't, because you running, you know. I mean, for instance, was she also referring to, what was it, the young brother whose dad went back and avenged his son. He ran over a cop. Hinton. Yeah. The Hinton case. That young man was running from the cops. He dropped his gun as he was running. It fell. The young kids they jump out the car and run. As he's running, the gun falls. They shoot him in his back, his side of his back, and kill him. He did not have the gun when he was shot. It did not matter. And that's one story that she could be referring to when she says it happens where black people have guns and they're trying to get away and they still shoot them because they had a gun, even if they didn't use the gun. And this young man was in a store with a gun. If he wanted to use his gun, I guess he had an opportunity to. And according to Andy, with that great testimony, Rick Chow's son, Andy, he says that they caught up with the boy a couple times. They caught up with Cyrus twice. The whole time he had a gun on him, and he didn't try to use it either time. What made him not use it? Telepathy? I mean, Aquaman could talk to the fishes. So now Andy had telepathy over Cyrus to make him not use the gun, even though they caught him twice. I'm trying to understand what they're saying here. See, it doesn't make sense, but to the jury, it didn't matter. As one of my commenters stated, it don't matter because he's black, so they're going to rule against him anyway. All they had to hear was black. Now, my commenter said all they had to hear was black and gun. I believe all they had to hear was black. Because I can go down a list of stories of just being black is enough to not get a favorable ruling. That's enough. Adding a gun just puts a cherry on top. That's just extra. Even the Ahmaud Arbery case. A strong reason why the Ahmaud Arbery case reaped a conviction of those two white guys is only because there was actual footage. Right, the actual footage. Because those white guys would have lied like shit. They would have never admitted that they basically hunted Ahmaud Arbery. Ahmaud Arbery's dead, he can't tell his story. And without that footage that they mistakenly took, without them filming their own footage so they could watch it back, Menace to Society style, without them doing that, they're free. They gave that gift. That's who gave that gift. So yeah, I agree. I agree that I agree with her sentiments and I appreciate it. I just don't think it's enough. I think it goes further. And to my commenter who says, yo, all they gotta see is black and gun in the same sentence. No, all they gotta see is black in that sentence. And that's one of the reasons why I stopped covering this type of shit for a long time. At least I tried not to unless I really felt, damn, I gotta cover this. It's because it's depressing as hell. And it happens so often. It takes a toll on your outlook on life. It makes it, when you gotta study each case, it becomes something. But it wears on you because it's the same story every time. People come in and they have, okay, we get justice, and it's the same shit. And then to compound it and make it even worse is you're going to have a bunch of people online telling you that what you believe is wrong, telling you he deserved to die, telling you that it's a problem with black culture, and you're going to have a bunch of black people agreeing with that type of bullshit. I mean, just yesterday, here goes the kicker. Just yesterday, there was a I don't know what kind of a trained, trained jujitsu fighter. He was on I think it was on a train or somewhere. And he was on a plane, that's it. A trained jujitsu master or some kind, a martial artist, was on an airplane where a member or a person on the flight, a passenger, tried to open up the window, the door. He tried to open up the door and kill everybody on the plane. That's what he tried to do. And this trained martial artist saw it and he subdued him, tackled his ass, put him in a hold, then they tied him up and kept him there. And you know what I saw? I saw Officer Tatum make a comment that went viral. And he says, I love how this martial artist took the time to do this so composed, and he did this in such a great way, or some shit. Now, it appears that the martial artist is a white guy, and it appears that the guy that he subdued was either white or he's not black, maybe Hispanic or something. And it's true, he looked like he was alive and well and able to go into custody when they landed the plane. But here was my problem, family, and I hope you understand this. Officer Tatum didn't think that Daniel Penny did anything wrong when Daniel Penny, in the same situation, killed a guy. He said it was justified. But he was also here saying that it was a great job that this guy did not kill the passenger that tried to kill everybody on the plane. He didn't have that same type of attitude when it came to Jordan Neely, who all he did was talk loudly on the plane. On a train. He did not try to make the train crash. He didn't try to make the train crash. He just said words people didn't like. So the inconsistencies of the independent media folks, the conservative independent media, is like crazy off the charts. I don't know a better way to put this. But you have one person who is willing to say, okay, great for you. You subdued a passenger who tried to kill everybody on the plane without killing him. That's acceptable. Would it have been acceptable if he killed him? It sounded like he was being applauded because he didn't. Well, why didn't you have that same type of energy when it came to Jordan Neely? Because he was homeless and he was black. That's why. And maybe the homeless part didn't have nothing to do with it, because he could have been homeless, he could have been young, he could have had his hat turned backwards, he could have had on a pair of Timbs. I mean, any type of reason will do. You don't have to have a weapon. So these inconsistencies, these are the type of stories that you cover and it just pisses you off. I know it pisses me off. Just to put a bow on it, fam. I didn't know South Carolina only had one charge, murder. Boom, murder. But damn, would it have made a difference? They weren't going to lock up that good Asian man anyway, were they? Nah. In fact, they didn't even charge him for the other people he shot. He shot 3 other people. He shot in a car full of people over somebody he said took a beer. No charges. He shot into a moving car over a beer. He shot another man in the leg over $6 worth of merchandise. And he shot at somebody else, and I don't know who that was. So 2013, 2015, and 2018. It's like every few years, he shoots at somebody. So the theory the young man shared with us, he believes that his son learned from his father. The son becomes the master, and now the son is shooting people. That changes things a little bit if it's the son, because the dad is so good and so fond of shooting people, or shooting at people and shooting people. Maybe he graduated to murder, or maybe it's the son who stepped in for him and did the dirty work. All right, man. I don't know, man. It is what they say it is, I guess. It's like They keep telling us that we live in this melting pot. They keep telling us that we're playing victim. They keep telling us it's all about culture. No. If you live in a state where a lot of people are armed, you might want to arm yourself. I'm not saying it's good that the young man had a gun, but I'm so tired of hearing these assholes say, he had a gun, he had a gun, he had a gun. Yeah, man. In America, we have more guns than people. In America, we have more guns than people. If having a gun is a reason to kill someone and that's all it takes, family, do you realize what you're saying? I've had some good people say it. I'm not talking to the sellouts. I'm talking to regular people. They keep on harping on that gun part. Fam, we got more guns than people in this country. Many Americans carry guns. What do you do with the gun? Don't just say you had a gun. People can be afraid of you just for words. You can stand too close to people in some states, and that's a reason for them to take you out. You know, you could pull a knife, you could pull a gun, you could put a hand with some skin on it. You know, you could threaten somebody, and that's enough for them to use force. A certain type of force that leads to your death. You understand what I'm saying? So just having a gun should not be like, okay, he had a gun, so he deserved to die. Nah, man. We got way too many guns in this country to have that type of attitude. Did he brandish the weapon? What proof do you have that he did that? And all I'm saying is, how many people run over a football field and then decide, oh, I'm going to pull his gun out? It don't even make sense to me. It doesn't make no sense at all. Who runs over a football field and then decides, you know, I'm going to shoot you? I don't know. It is what it is, fam. Where's my iPad? Where's my... You know what? I'm so glad you brought that up, Raven. Thank you, Raven. Check this out, fam. I've noticed, Raven. I don't know if you noticed it, but I've noticed it. I haven't seen a lot of the Democrats talk about this story. Can you imagine not reporting on the story for the only reason being it's because you don't want to mess up your fake, phony people of color coalition. That's why they don't want to talk about it. Because they want to feed us this propaganda that we're all working together. And Asians love black people. And Latinos love black people. Everybody loves us. We're no longer hated and demonized by all walks of life in the country. No. So they don't want to cover this story because it reminds people of the shit we've been telling y'all. We in here alone. We in this alone. And anybody that supports you or with you, that's a bonus. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, right? Because we're going to be real, right? But that's called a bonus. That's not the expected. That's, wow, that's nice to have. That's nice to have support. But you can't be like, oh, that's what we expect. That's the way it is. That's the default setting. Now, motherfucker, it's not a default setting. It's an aftermarket item. Allies are an aftermarket item. You got to pay extra for that shit. It doesn't come with. And Democrats want to maintain this lie to confuse the narrative, to shape their narrative and confuse our reality. And some people buy into it. I ain't one of them people. Yeah, somebody let Roland Martin know that I noticed his ass hasn't covered the story of Cyrus. And so many others have not covered it. They won't cover it. Because all of a sudden it shatters that bullshit lie that they love to tell. That everybody got our back. And they came here just to link up with black people to help us fight white supremacy. Meanwhile, some of these people are the worst practitioners of white supremacy. Some of these people are more racist than regular racists. Some of them make Nazis look like homeboys. You know, there are Latinos and Asians that are more racist than racist white people. There are racist white people going, damn, I didn't realize, Jesus Christ. I didn't know these Asians were that racist to the blacks. Calm down. Leave Dwayne alone. We both like Wu-Tang Clan. I don't know what you listen to, goddammit. I'm just being real here, Johnson. There are a lot of so-called people of color that are way racist than white people. Nobody wants to talk about it, and you know what? It's not convenient for the Democrats to admit reality. They rather sit up on the Joe Budden podcast or some other podcast and tell us how white supremacy is all we got to worry about. Nah, fam, I wish all we had to worry about is just that. Here's the thing. Anybody can practice that shit, right? I've been told I practice it just because I want a border secure. That's white supremacists to want a border secure. Who knew locking your door is white supremacists? If that's the case, I guess we're all white supremacists, huh? Because we all like locking our doors at night. Bullshit. These people can't be trusted. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man, about Cyrus' case. Let me know what you think about Andy. Let me know what you think about Andy. And do you agree with my sister who said, rather be judged by 12 than curried by 6? We've been saying that shit forever. I know, it sounds like, hey, this is great. It is great. I'm glad the new generation's coming along because I was there when Q put that shit out. 89 or 92. That's the LENCHMOB. T-Bone, and that's JD. I'm trying to tell you.
Catch Tim Black live on the most dangerous show in America, Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Don't miss out on the real. Stay dangerous.